Yeah. Apollo, you want to go on to this Viacom thing with Nick Cannon?
Yeah, so Viacom, they're hopeful about working with Nick Cannon again. In short, is that in short? In short,
Stupid.
Mm.
Very stupid. What's wrong?
Viacom,
What?
Viacom or Nick?
I wasn't talking
No,
about
I said Viacom or Nick. It must have cut out because I.
Viacom. Viacom is stupid for this.
Nah.
What
You
did
know
what
what?
did I say when this happened with Nick? I said they should have stayed there and they should have
Yeah.
educated him. They're here in their statement fully saying they struggle to know he's on this journey of figuring out what he did wrong and that they're not a part of it. I said exactly that. They should have kept him and educated him and took it as an opportunity to educate the rest of the world on a platform with him. So
Think about how many times like other people, like I hate to say it, like other white people have said some shit, and they've kept their job no problem, and they were so quick to drop Nick Cannon for his shit.
Yeah.
Exactly. After that many years of being with them too.
Yeah.
My
I don't think
thing,
Nick Cannon should take that shit though. Fuck that. Fuck them. Do your own shit, man.
in short, I just want to say that this is what happens when cancel culture is a part of a lot of decisions. When people are just going like, you know what, let's just cancel and quit without really doing due diligence and being patient with what you could really do, right? Because what Nick Cannon said, yeah, that could be if people found it offensive, like Jewish people found that offensive particularly.
Yeah.
Right, and I think the person who's running Viacom at the moment, the president, is a Jew. I could see why she might have taken that personally and not seen that as I guess a time for proper business decision. But this what we at.
Yeah, but I still feel like I don't know, like I feel like cancel culture isn't really like a thing. Like brands are looking at, say for example, you have a population of 1 million people, and you have 900,000 people who say this is funny.
Yeah.
But then you have 100, and then you have like whatever 50,000 people who just don't watch it, and then you have a small population of 50,000 people who say they're offended by this. Those people who are offended are usually the ones who are more outspoken, because say for example, when you watch a funny video, what do? You just watch it and you like it maybe, or keep scrolling. But if you see a video that you don't fuck with and you think is super offensive, like you're going straight for the comments. So I feel like cancel culture is in a sense like an illusion. You know what I mean? Because how many people really were offended by what Nick Cannon said? Like how many people really, you get like a 1-2 tweet on Twitter about some shit, but how many people actually give a fuck? Probably not that many. And the brands are only able to look at that small population because that small population is the ones who are actually speaking out loud.
Vocal ones.
And Apollo, going back to what you said off of the CEO being Jewish and like her being personally offended by it, and that being why she fired him, possibly why she fired him at that moment. I think at the end of the day, if you're in that much of a position of power, you should also know how to handle your emotions over your logic at the same time. Like that's something that like everyone benefits from. And I think that in that case, you shouldn't like, I don't know, that guy was coming at me on Instagram out of left field for being Indian and working at an urban station. So like, I didn't come at him. I wanted to come at him sideways, but I didn't. Like, you have to think of it that way too. So I just think they're dumb for this. And yeah, I think he should do his own thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the only thing I was really sad about that whole business relationship just going to trash is the fact that he employed a lot of up and coming Black content creators.
Yeah.
And I looked at it as like, man, we got I can't even, I'm drawing a blank to be honest, man. Fuck. But you all know the popular people on it, and I was like, damn, these guys had a platform, right? And he constantly having new and more new content creators on there. Like they had Funny Mike, and Funny Mike, if you see him on YouTube, that dude's doing like 1 million views every video he drops. You know what I mean? We have DC Young Fly and Carlos and Chico Bean. They got a podcast together. And they go on tour and stuff. We have the other dude that's a battle rapper. I can't remember his name. We had Jess Hilarious on there. They had the Emmanuel Hudson. These are all people that I think their star power even got heightened while they were on Wild 'N Out. it's a platform that helps. It's like, think about Def Comedy Jam for comedians back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
In a sense, this is kind of it, you know?
Well, hopefully he's able to take that elsewhere and do the same thing. I guess this would be our last topic we're going to touch on.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a sad one to end on. But obviously everyone has seen, or I don't know if you guys have seen, but the video of a Black man who was vigorously shot by police in Wisconsin. His 3 young boys were there to witness this traumatic event. Sorry. But the good news is that he's alive. And I don't know if you guys saw the video. Bilal, do you watch, like, are you able to watch these videos of these police murders? Do you not watch them anymore? Like, do you have a hard time digesting them? Like,
I can watch them. Like, that's not, I mean, not like I love fucking watching them or anything,
Yeah,
but the only reason why, like, usually I'm up to date on news for like social media and like video reasons, you know? But just this past 3 weeks, I've kind of been going on a social media cleanse. So I've heard about the video, but I haven't like actually seen it myself. So I'm a little like uneducated on the topic you're talking about.
Okay, Apollo.
So you're gonna have to explain it to me.
Yeah, I can
bit.
describe it.
Yeah.
I just want to see. Have you seen it, Apollo?
I saw only 15 seconds of it, and I never. The part of the video I never got to see was the bullets being fired. I was like, man, I'm done. I'm done watching slavery movies. I'm done watching, people get shot.
Yeah. So I normally don't watch these videos. Like, I haven't watched George Floyd. I don't really watch them just because for me, like, it's really, I don't know, it's really hard to watch. Obviously, yes, I acknowledge racism is a lot harder to live through than it is to stop and watch a video. But so basically what happens is he's trying to break up a domestic fight that the police were initially called for. He's trying to break up this fight. The police instead follow him to his car and they pull out their guns right away. He just like leaves and starts walking to his car. They pull out their guns right away and they're holding it to his back as he's walking into his car. He's like, whatever, I'm just going to get in my SUV. My 3 kids are in the back. He gets in the SUV, and as soon as the doors open and like literally half of his body's inside, they yank him by his shirt and just fire 7 shots into his back.
So did they have a taser or?
I don't know if they had a taser on them, but
so they really just went straight for it, eh? Like no other options.
Straight for it, and literally like right as soon as he started walking to his SUV. I honestly, so I watched this video. I didn't put the volume on just because I didn't want to hear all of it, but I watched it and I am in shock that he is alive. 7 shots in the back. Like, it's crazy. And I don't like, do you guys think this is going to make a change in the movement? This is somebody who everybody thought was going to be dead by the police from this. And now he's been shot 7 times in the back and he's actually alive.
So another thing that I could say that's kind of controversial as well is I feel like because he didn't die, it's going to have less of an impact.
You think so?
I think he's right.
I do. I think so. I think because he didn't die, people won't be talking about it as much.
You can't be a martyr for the movement if he's alive.
Exactly.
I actually kind of think the opposite. The reason being because this is one of those cases where, yes, like there's obviously people who have been targeted and who have survived, but their videos didn't necessarily go viral. This one went viral. And I think that people who, I mean, I don't know, it's hard to change a racist person's mind, but people who weren't necessarily on board with Black Lives Matter, now seeing the impact that this has had on him, his young boys, while he's still alive, him still being alive, and stopping him, like limiting him, because he's got to be paralyzed or something, limiting him from so many things he used to be able to do before. I think this might actually help certain people understand the movement and really realize, like seeing it from somebody who, like, their name could have been a hashtag for a worse reason than what it is now, kind of thing.
But do you not think that if someone was to die, that those same people that you're talking about would have still had that change of heart? Like, part of me feels like no matter what, those people need to be educated, and like a simple video will not change their mind. Because those same people will be saying certain things like, oh, well, what was he doing? Like, what was he wearing? And type shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're in general, they have like systemic, like, they're already prejudiced based on their upbringing, and they're already prejudiced based on like how they are. So I don't know if a simple video will awaken them and have like an epiphany, you know? And I'm just being pessimistic though.
No. I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I just think, I don't know, for some reason, I feel like to be able to actually see it and hear his experience, like from him personally, like being that close to like a death situation, I think could change some people's mind. Not necessarily people who are like fully alt-right, like racist and whatever, but maybe people who heard about Black Lives Matter and were like, I know it's the right thing to do. Like, let's take people on Instagram, for example, who just use it as a trend to look good to their however many followers, like those people where it's like, I know it's a good thing, but mind you, I'm still skeptical and questionable about this, and that. And I feel like them seeing this and hearing this guy's experience might potentially help the case a little bit. It's fucked up that is what would have to happen if that's the case. Regardless, this is still a very sad story. But I'm happy it has a better ending than what a lot of people. I really thought he was dead. Like, I put on the page that he got murdered, and then this morning I was like, oh shit, he's alive. Like, so
like I'm going off what Bilal said. I don't think, like, I think you have to die for this movement to be impactful. For people's words to say, yo, police are really killing us. And, a black man is able to survive 7 shots. It doesn't necessarily, I don't know if it's necessarily going to scare anybody. Like 50 Cent got shot 9 times being in the streets. I'm pretty sure, gangsterism hasn't died off since 50 Cent told us he got shot 9 times.
2 different things.
You know what I mean?
Like, but then you could also argue like that black people get shot all the time. You know what I mean? Like, it's that even hearing this story is not like a surprise. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just I think the reason why the George Floyd one was so different is because, for one, like, you literally had him pleading for his life and literally, like, I don't know. It was different. I honestly do think even with George Floyd, if he was to survive that, then like we still wouldn't be talking about it, which is shitty to say.
Yeah.
Rodney King got his ass beat on camera back in 1992. They rioted in LA for like 3, 4, I don't know for how long in LA because he lost it. The cops weren't convicted, and that's if 28 years ago doesn't change people's mind, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like the reason why the Rodney King incident was so crazy is because, like, for once out of like the first time in a long time, you actually have video proof. Now I feel like we're so desensitized to like seeing people in Libya die. We're so desensitized to seeing Beirut explosions. We're so desensitized to black people dying that we just keep scrolling at this point. So it's so hard. It's so shitty to say, but it's like you see so much bad shit all at once that I do truly believe that a video like that where the guy still survives might not be enough to draw our attention.
Yeah, it's more of a breath of fresh air.
I don't know. I'm on the opposite side from you guys, but
I like the optimism though.
Just want to see
you got me in a Paula being so fucking negative, man. You need that.
But at the end of the day, I think dude get to see his kids again. He's alive. I think
his kids are going to be traumatized though. I really feel bad for those kids. They're young. Like that's like insane, but